Hello, and welcome back to season 4 of the Limelight Podcast with Digital Limelight Media. I'm Lauren,
I am Chandler.
and we're super excited to be back here for season 4. Now, if you remember from season 3, we did a little bit of something called a lemon and a lime. I'm going to start off my lime this week, which is something good that happened, is that we're starting podcast season 4. My lemon, which is something not so good that happened this week, is that we have had the most insane snowstorm. It's really not that insane, but it's insane for me because I have to drive in it.
You actually have to be a psychic because those are the exact I was gonna say.
Oh, perfect.
But I would say probably my lime is that this is gonna sound really corny, but we found this salmon at Aldi and it's like my favorite thing I've ever made ever. So we're gonna have that for dinner. Really excited.
Oh,
And then the bad was I had to go to the doctor and it was like just way too expensive. Just for I'm talking over $100. I'm like, okay.
uh, I'm never
Good.
excited to go to the doctor.
No, never, ever. But yeah, could be worse.
Could be worse. At least you're healthy.
Correct. Could be much worse. But I'm also really, really excited today because we have a very, very special guest. Um, Obviously, as you can tell, we are also virtual. It's a little bit different than last season. So the guest is actually with Lauren. So Lauren, if you want to do us the honors.
Yeah, absolutely. So right next to me, I'm going to have him wheel in is Devin, our senior SEO specialist. He's been with DLM for 4 years, so he might be a friendly face to any of our clients that have come on. You've had on an SEO kickoff with him. The man, the myth, the legend, Devin Mullen.
Hello. Thanks, Lauren. Thanks, Chandler. Happy to be here.
Perfect. We wanted to cover just a few current events before we get into our segments. So just some things kind of related to the marketing world, what's going on. Big one, Instagram is debuting a new feed / layout on the user page. They're moving the highlights. They're changing. It's not a square anymore. It's a rectangle. Pretty crazy.
I also feel bad for all those people that like meticulously curated their entire feed to fit that square. And now it's like all that time and energy.
So crazy. Did you see Niall Horan from One Direction's page? It was, he had like the whole feed that was set up, and when they eventually you know gave him the new rectangles, he looks like a cyclops in some, like they cut off his eye, they cut off his
Oh,
shoulders. It was
no.
really funny. And then another cool thing that's kind of coming out, or maybe not so cool depending on your thoughts, the FTC is changing some rules about business texting. You really have to make sure that you have client consent to be able to send text out, or else you could be fined. So make sure that you keep an eye, make sure that all your forms are compliant, and then you're texting people and giving them the opportunity to unsubscribe from your text. Perfect. So I think we're going to get into some SEO stuff. I think the first segment that we have planned are some ins and outs for 2025 in the realm of SEO. SEO is an ever-changing industry. Google's algorithm is updating all the time. Devin, what are some ins for 2024 that you kind of see trending for SEO?
Yeah. So for 2025, one of the big things that we're going to be focusing on is embracing AI. And what I mean by that is really leveraging it as an SEO tool to do a number of different things. So, for example, it can be really great for exploring a new topic or helping to build out like a content map for a new website or a new keyword that you want to rank for. And AI has become a really great tool for creating some, I call it low leverage content. Think about content that maybe you're posting on like your Google business page, or it's kind of a secondary page on your website. That's where AI is becoming really valuable. And with a little bit of training, with a little bit of conversating with Perplexity and ChatGPT, it can really pump out quality content that, is going to be valuable for, your website, for SEO to, help achieve whatever you're looking for.
Awesome. That's super, super cool to hear. Do you have any outs for SEO in 2025? Anything that you kind of think might be old news?
Yeah, so I think that a couple of things are going to be really low quality backlinks, but then also low quality content. I know that we're kind of in the dead of winter right now, but I think starting to think about doing some spring cleaning for your websites in 2025 will be really valuable. Think about potential backlinks that may be coming from toxic websites or maybe websites that don't have any traffic. And then as far as your content, cleaning out, maybe you have a bunch of old blog posts that aren't bringing in any traffic. We have a lot of tools like Screaming Frog and Google Search Console, and those two can kind of team up to audit your blogs and see how they're performing. And when we do some spring cleaning for some of your low performing blogs, really what that does is it pushes up all of your good quality content and content that you want your readers to go through and that you want Google to notice. It really just pushes up your quality stuff. I kind of compare it to maybe when you were in college or high school, and at the end of your semester, your teacher would say, I'm going to drop your lowest test score of the semester. That's kind of how I think about cleaning out some old low quality blogs. It's cleaning out some of the bottom of the barrel stuff and lifting up the good things.
Poof, or perfect. Wow. Super cool to hear. Nearly 6 million searches happen on Google every minute. What if your business could be the answer to some of those searches? With Google Ads, it can be. Google dominates search engines with over 91% of the market share, making it the ultimate platform to boost your visibility. With Google Ads, you can target a specific audience. Whether it's by age, location, language, your ad reaches the right people at the right time. With Digital Limelight Media, you have control. Our expert team will help you choose when your ads show and how often they appear. With Google Ads, you only pay when someone clicks. From search ads that appear right at the top of the page when someone is looking for your services, to display ads that catch eyes on other websites, Google Ads offer a variety of ways to make your brand stand out. And with our in-depth analytics and transparent reporting, you'll see exactly how your ads are performing and how you can get even better results. Ready to turn searches into sales? Visit dlmconversion.com today and let us illuminate the path to your digital success.
Okay, Devin, I also have a couple questions for you in terms of not necessarily like ins and outs, but also, I guess, how you would go about figuring out what keywords would be most beneficial, not only for a client, but also for whatever procedure or page they're optimizing for. So if you're okay, we're going to kind of test it on the spot here.
Yeah,
I'm going to do a couple scenarios. So here is scenario number one, and I'm going to refrain from using an accent because we're going to keep this very professional. I am a plastic surgeon in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I want to market that I provide rhinoplasties. I am a board certified and a women-owned practice. Most of my patients are from West Michigan, and I like to have multiple follow-up consultations, so having patients nearby is nice.
Awesome.
Did that ring any bells?
We might have a couple clients that are kind of like what you're describing, Chandler, but with this industry in particular, really what we want to do is optimize for the keywords that people are actually searching for. So that's where doing research for these keywords is really important. So in your case, Chandler, I would want to optimize for keywords like facial plastic surgeon Grand Rapids or facial plastic surgeon near me. And that's really important because you're really focusing in on specifically what you provide. You're not a general plastic surgeon. You are a facial plastic surgeon, and that specificity is really important. And it's also going to get you just more qualified people coming to your website. A couple others are going to be like facelift Grand Rapids, rhinoplasty Grand Rapids. We also want to go for maybe more common jargon like nose job surgery or just face surgery. Both of those keywords are really great to optimize for to get some patients and customers in the top of your funnel. From there, once we're ranking for those keywords, we want to get them to the website and reading our content, filling out our forms, and coming in the office for a consultation.
No, that makes a ton of sense. I also have two things really quick. The first one that you mentioned, I think is so important for people, especially for like surgeons to hear, because rhinoplasty is absolutely really important, yes. But majority of people that are also looking for a rhinoplasty are also going to be looking up nose job, because not a lot of people know the actual like medical terminology. Obviously, if you're deep diving into rhinoplasties, you obviously do. And then the second one, I'm really curious, and this is going a little bit maybe out of left field, but how do you feel in terms of like if that client was like, I want to rank for best nose job in Grand Rapids? Is it more beneficial to do those more specific keywords in terms of like, like you said, facial plastic surgery in Grand Rapids, or versus like best nose job in Grand Rapids? Does that make sense?
Yeah, my first priority is going to be optimizing for the keyword that has the most search volume, because what we want to do is we want our website to show up for the most possible people, and people typing in that, those general keywords are still qualified. And I would say ranking for best nose job Grand Rapids is still important. If it's important to the client, then it's important to us. But that would be my second priority, because we would need a little bit more catered content to rank for that specific keyword. And we may also want to consider doing a press release or any off-page SEO items to help rank for that keyword.
Honestly, all of those make a ton of sense. Wait. So I have another one. I'm curious what you're going to think about this one. It's not necessarily like plastic surgery. It's more of like, okay, for example, it says, I'm an exotic car salesman in Miami with Ferrari, McLaren, and Aston Martin. I'm so sorry for anyone if I mispronounce those. I'm not a car. And more in my showroom. Most of my clients are retirees in Florida, but I want to expand my clientele up into Atlanta.
Yeah.
So wants to change up the location a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit different industry, but the methodology is still the same. We really want to target the keywords that people are actually searching. And the keywords are actually pretty simple for this. So thinking of, it's in my case, doing some research, people are more likely to search for a specific brand. So thinking of McLaren dealership near me, or Aston Martin dealership, or Ferrari dealership. Ferrari is a little bit less common because they actually deliver a lot of their cars, which is cool.
Oh, that is cool.
But
yeah, they delivered me one too. So,
but really, from a strategy perspective, what we would want to do is, if we want to branch up into Atlanta and into other cities and other markets, if we don't already have a location there, we really want to create a whole new kind of branch of the website to rank specifically for those areas. So basically what we would want to do is take all of the pages that are helping us rank in Miami and create an Atlanta version of those pages to rank for, McLaren dealership, Aston Martin dealership, exotic cars in Atlanta. And that's the kind of thing to where you would need to really create like a map of the keywords and the pages you want to create. And it would probably be, a 3 to 6 month process of starting to get some results once you begin that.
Well, you clearly know more about SEO and cars than I do. So that's good to know.
I know a thing or two, Chandler.
Yeah, maybe just one or two. Okay, I'm going to throw you through one last curveball and see how we do. So the last one is, I'm a manager of a brand new travel baseball team called the Speedway Sluggers. I'm trying to recruit players to join my team. I am located in Indianapolis, and the team only travels in the Midwest. We want to target teen boys ages 13 through 17 and try out for our team, and we would prefer to recruit them within a 45-mile radius of Indianapolis.
Yeah.
There's a lot of information in that one.
Yeah. Yeah. So in doing my keyword research for this, Ahrefs is the main tool that I use, but a lot of common terms are going to be travel baseball teams, youth baseball leagues, And then we can also get age specific. So a lot of people might search like 13 under travel baseball, 14 under travel baseball. I would really create a page for kind of the different age brackets that we have within our team. So if the whole team is 13 through 17, I would create a page for, 13 under, 14 under, and whatnot. As far as ranking for that specific radius, I would want our website and our pages to be optimized for Indianapolis. Because one thing we've seen in the industry is that when people are located in a rural area, typically they're still going to search for the big city that is located nearby them. So if they're located in a smaller town within Indiana, if they're looking for a top tier travel baseball team, they're still going to likely be searching for that with Indianapolis included in their search. The last thing I'll say is that optimizing for a specific radius can be difficult with SEO. And that's where something like this, we might want to talk to our Google Ads team about getting really granular and specific with the areas that we want to target. But this would absolutely be achievable with SEO.
I feel like at this point, there's not really any sort of scenario that I can give that I can stump you. So I feel like there's no point of even trying anymore, which is honestly best case scenario.
You'd be surprised about some of the client calls sometimes.
Oh, I honestly couldn't even. Yeah, I could
still get a lot of curveballs that I can't get on.
Yeah. Lauren, do you want to bring us into our next and final segment?
Yeah, before we send Devin back to do some SEO work for our clients, we've got one more little game to play with you. If you've ever done a tier list before, I know those are really popular YouTube videos. If you've ever seen something like that, a tier list is kind of a ranking system where S tier is the top, A is pretty good, B is average, C is below average, and D is like kind of bad. We want you to rank some common SEO tactics that we either hear from our clients or things that we do here at DLM. So I'm going to start off with something that I've definitely heard some clients see if they should do it. And that is using a bot to create 100 AI written blogs every day and post those every single day for a year.
Definitely D tier. That's going to be creating a lot of low quality content that Google isn't going to care about. I think we should be a lot more thoughtful about what we put on our website.
Awesome. What about using alt text for images?
I'm going to go ahead and put this in the B tier, average. It's the kind of thing that is a beneficial, yes, but there's a long list of things that are more important than this that we should be making sure that we're doing.
Definitely. What about something like optimizing meta titles and descriptions with relevant keywords to those pages?
So this is going to be S tier, the top tier.
Our first S tier.
This one's important, and this is one of the biggest focuses when we're launching a new website. This process is really important because it kind of lays out the roadmap of what keywords we want to optimize for. And again, that needs to match what people are actually searching. So definitely S tier. If you miss on optimizing your meta titles and descriptions, you're going to be missing out on a lot of good rankings and a lot of traffic.
Perfect. What about posting one blog, but only every 3 months? So about 4 blogs a year.
So we're going to go C for below average, the C tier. It's better than no blogs. And sometimes we get new clients where they haven't posted any updates to the website. So we'll throw that in C. It's better than nothing.
Perfect. What are your thoughts on placing links that go off the website, but they open up within the same tab? So you're completely leaving the website.
Yep. So, opening up in a new tab. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that in the B tier, average. When we have links that leave the website, we want to open it up in a new tab. So that way our tab is still staying open. For example, maybe you have a link to your Instagram on your website. You absolutely need that to open up in a new tab because the more we keep people on the website, the more likely they are to convert. And that's kind of one of those basic SEO things that all of your websites should have.
Definitely. What about using a random website to purchase a bunch of backlinks without checking where those links go, what websites they're hosted on, anything like that?
Yeah, so this one's tough. It's definitely a no-no. I'm just kind of thinking if it should go in the C or D tier. I think we'll throw it in C. Google, traditionally speaking, backlinks have been the most important ranking factor within Google. However, that is shifting more towards content quality, but it is still important to have some backlinks. So it's definitely something that you shouldn't do, but it's there's worse things that you could do if that makes sense.
Definitely. Chandler, do you have any tactics that you want to ask?
I have one. Well, actually, I have a couple. So this is one that I had to do with one of my clients, and had to do with like a gallery because we moved into a new site. Um, I'm wondering where in the tier list you would put redirecting deleted pages that would have previously landed on a 404.
Yeah, so this is an S tier as well. Right up there with optimizing your meta
Love it.
description. And if I had to rank them, I would probably say that this is most important because
Really?
redirecting URLs is all about retaining the SEO value of your website. And it's about retaining the history of your website as well. And what I mean by history is that when you have a URL on your website, Google knows that that URL exists. It places a certain value with that. But if you change that URL, you need to make sure that you are still showing Google that a new page is going to retain that value. So if you think about a website that historically it's had over 1,000 different URLs on it. Well, if any of those change, we want to make sure that they're redirected to a new URL on the website. We've had quite a few clients that have come on and they have loads and loads of historical URLs that aren't redirected to the new site. And by going through and cleaning those up and sending them to our current pages, we've seen a really, really big boost. My main advice with this is that Google has a long memory, and it's important to still show them where that path of URLs is going so we retain that value.
I also think that's amazing. I have one final one before we kind of wrap it up. Because this is one that I think I get so many questions about, especially from my clients. They want a page that is like filled with text. We're talking like 1,000+ words. So do you think adding a page to your site that is with an image that's full of text but no text? Okay, let me explain this. So I had a client that wanted one of like their main headers to be like an image that they had saved. Obviously it would not be in the text form, but it would be on an image. So where do you think that would lay on the SEO tier?
Yeah, like if your main heading is an image and not actually text, that would be in the C tier for sure. We need that header to have actual text within the code. Visually speaking, it might tell the user the same thing about what your page is about, but when the Google bot goes in, and again, the Google bot is reading the code of your page. It's not really looking at the elements of it. If the code says that you don't have a header, that's going to ding you from an SEO perspective. So, yeah, we can throw that one in the C tier. It's not the end of the world, but definitely, that's something that you should not do.
Don't do it, but it's not the worst.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's honestly on our end. Lauren, did you have any other ones that you wanted to ask Devin?
No, I think you answered pretty much all of the tactics. Thank you so much for hopping on with us today, Devin. Perfect.
Hi, Lauren and Chandler. What's your favorite campaign that you've ever run?
That is such a good question. I think mine personally was with it was more of like an outdoor kind of company. So it was like a lot of like clothing and outdoors wear. And we did a huge winter. It was right after Christmas, but it was almost like a New Year launch. But that's just like when the date ended up being. And then we did a really, really big influencer campaign. And this is the first time we've ever done this for this client. And it ended up being like amazing. It sold out in like a month, which I know sounds like a long time, but like for an entire line for this company that's pretty decently sized, to sell in a month is really exciting. And we saw really, really good engagement in terms of like their social media. They grew like 3,000 followers because of all of the other, little bit more smaller and niche influencers that were also referencing the PR that they just got. But I would probably like to say that because we saw exponential growth in terms of engagement and also sales for the client. And then also it was also successful because then that client continues to come back. So
Yeah, no, that's super cool. I think
what about you, Lauren?
our campaign, I think so. I have a med spa down south, and they did a big grand opening party, and I got to pitch a bunch of media and send out a bunch of invitations and just do a little bit more PR than I typically normally get to do with my day-to-day job. My background's in public relations, so anytime that I can talk to media, get outreach for my clients, help out, reach out to the local community, reaching out to local businesses down there. It's what I love to do, and it was super exciting, and they had a really good turnout. So it was a really awesome campaign to run, and I hope to do more like that in the future. Otherwise, welcome back to season 4. Stay tuned for the rest of our super cool season. We have a ton of really fun guests. We've got a fresh perspective on a little bit. We're switching some things up this season. You'll see Chandler and I in different rooms. Although we miss him here, bring some cool opportunities for new stuff going on. Yeah. So super excited for season 4, and welcome back to the Limelight Podcast.
I guess we'll see you guys on episode 2.
Bye now. All right, we slayed.